Hello and welcome to this afternoon's Adobe Express live lesson for Halloween. All right, there we go. That was my attempt to be Halloweeny and get in the spirit of Halloween because I'm not a massive fan. Let's get the light. Let's get the big lights back on. Let's get the big lights back on. Okay, everything's fine. Big lights are on. Let us know who's joining us today. Teachers, pop it in the chat, either on YouTube or on the StreamYard link. Let us know which schools are joining us for today's special Halloween live lesson. And we will get your shout outs up on the screen. Now then, if you haven't joined us before, welcome to our Adobe Express live lessons. We run these every single week. Usually I've got Dom with me, but he is busy. I think he's carving a pumpkin or something. He's busy carving a pumpkin, classic Dom. So it's just me today, but we're still gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna maybe half the fun, but we're still gonna have lots of fun using Adobe Express. So I hope you're sitting comfortably and that you have logged into Adobe Express and that you are ready to go because we're gonna have loads of creative multimedia fun today with a Halloween theme, of course. Now, we've got today's activity page scrolling along the bottom of the screen. You can see there, adobe.ly/Halloween25. So you need Express open and then open that up on another tab. If you are using an iPad, welcome. You can use the Adobe Express app and then obviously you can open up the activity page on something like Safari or Chrome, whatever browser you use on your iPad. But for you iPad users, we've actually got a QR code. Let's get that up on the screen. Let's get the QR code up on the screen, guys. And let's get scanning. So that's Express. I'm logged into Express so you can see. But here on another tab next to it on Chrome, I'm using Chrome, maybe you're using Edge or a different browser. It doesn't matter. Just open up another tab. And in this tab, we just type this short link, adobe.ly/Halloween 25, right? And those of you that have got an iPad, you can just scan this QR code. Doesn't have to be an iPad, any device that scans QR codes, and that'll bring you along to this page where we can see what we're going to be up to this afternoon. Right, well, we've already had some shomais, some hellos, so let's see who's saying hello whilst we give you some time to get the activity page opened up. So First out of the blocks this afternoon was Drury Primary School in North Wales. Prynawn da, dosbarth Malwen. Welcome back. It's good to see you back. Oh, you are all spooked up and ready for your spooky Adobe live lesson. There we go. I'm getting into it today. Right. Who else have we got? We've got Prynawn da from Year 4 at Gwersyll CP up in Wrexham. Well, croeso. Welcome to you, friends. And we've also got Primary 6, P6 in Millquarter Primary School in Ireland. Welcome to you and thanks for your message. It's great to have you along. And then one more message for now. We've got Prynawn da from Year 6 in Penavai Primary School in Bridgend. Well, welcome to you all and welcome in and let us know. Are you doing something at school today for Halloween? Or is everybody just looking forward to having half term next week? I'm sure we are here anyway. We're looking forward to a bit of half term, a bit of downtime next week. We all deserve it. And who deserves it more than anyone? Your teachers. That's who. Right. Let's go and take a look at what we're doing today. Oh, just for me to mention, if you're new, if I'm going too fast, you can always pause the live stream, teachers. So if you feel that the pace is a bit fast, then feel free to pause the live stream and continue with it when your class is ready to move ahead. But saying that, I am going to be demonstrating most of the things we do today twice. Once on the browser, so if you're using a laptop or a Chromebook or a Mac or a PC or whatever, then I'll be on my Chrome browser that you can see here. But I'll also be swapping over to my iPad and showing these skills again for a second time. So that gives you all some extra time to kind of learn and play around with these skills. All right? Teachers, make sure that you are registered for the session. If you're not registered for the session, you can do that right now by going to adobe.ly/live lessons. because registered teachers will receive an email this afternoon with a certificate for every one of your students that have taken part. So make sure that you're registered, and by going to that registration link, you can also see all of the live lesson themes we've got between now and, whisper it, Christmas. Okay, right. Let's get on with our first activity. Let's get these things off the screen. Lots of things on the screen. Let's move some things. There we go. Oh, no. There we go. Off you go. Thank you very much. Right, so let's see what we're going to do first. Well, we are going to start off, guys, by building a Happy Halloween graphic. Now then, we're going to start off by doing some art. We're going to do some drawing, first of all, to build up our background. A spooky, moonlit background. And then we're going to add scary elements to make it a multimedia monstrosity. We can try things like this: some ghosts, some pumpkins, some skeletons and bones, some witches, bats, spiders, spiderwebs, black cats, tombstones, cauldrons, scarecrows, gargoyles. All right. And then in our second activity this afternoon, we are going to be bringing that to life by animating. We're going to be using animation and video editing skills to bring our creation to life. All right. Sounds good? Let's get started then. Right. Let's jump over to Adobe Express. Here we go. And we're going to start off by painting our spooky moonlit background. All right. So to start doing some drawing in Express, that's all we need to do on the home page is scroll down on the home page and you'll find an orange card with a very funky looking robot. And that says create a drawing. So the orange card with a robot. Create a drawing, give it a click, and it's going to open up your drawing app in Express. Cool. Right. So, it's the middle of the night, so I would think that we'd be better off starting with a black background. So, to change our background color to black, we can just go to the top of the page where it says background color, give it a click, and let's just set our page background to black. Okay, right, let's start building up a kind of a spooky, misty haze of Halloween colors for our moonlit night. So to do that, let's go and find the watercolor fill brush. So we can find the watercolor fill brush by going over to brush in the top left-hand corner. And then you need to go to the art supplies. So you can see here on the left. Now you could just keep scrolling because they're all in one list. But if you want to jump down to them, click on art supplies and it'll jump down. Here we go to the art supplies brushes. And I want the brush called watercolor fill. Now these are in alphabetical order. You see A, C, 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 D. So watercolor fill is going to be near the bottom of our art supplies brushes. Here we go. Watercolor fill. Not the normal watercolor brush. I just want the watercolor fill brush. Okay, give it a click. And now, let's bring the brush size all the way up to the top. Biggest brush possible. Now then, what's a Halloween-y color? Orange is, green is, purple is maybe as well. So pick a Halloween-y color. Doesn't matter which one. I'm going to use them all in a bit. I'm going to go with this orange. And then let's just start painting with our watercolor fill. And you can see I'm just starting, just clicking and dragging, kind of daubing it on to the page here. Now I'm going to have the moon up in the top right-hand corner. So I'm going to kind of leave a bit of empty space up here. It doesn't matter if you've got a bit of paint up there, but I'm going to leave a bit more space there than I've got everywhere else. Okay. Right, I'm going to do one more colour and then I'm going to go over to the iPad and get started there as well. All right, let's go for maybe this purple colour. And I'm still using the same watercolour fill brush, the size up to the max. And now I'm going to start bringing in and mixing some of this purple watercolour paint in amongst my Halloween orange. Lovely. Tell you what, I will do one more whilst I'm here. let's do my Halloween green. Halloween green. Halloween green. So let's just grab some green. And let's just start popping some of this Halloween green around the place as well. Lovely. As Mr. Bull would say, lovely job. Right, there we go. We've got that done. That's a great start. Right, you carry on with that. Now, really important, if you feel that you've made a mistake, for example, say that you've accidentally used the wrong paintbrush and you've gone like that. Oh, dear me, I made a mistake. Don't worry about it. You've got your back button up on the top. You've got the undo button. So if you think you've made a mistake, you can step back by just clicking on the undo button. Okay? Undo button is your friend. Right, come on then, over to the iPad, because I'm sure you're all having fun painting some Halloween-y colours with the watercolour fill brush there. So take your time, and I'm going to do it now over on the iPad. So here I am on the iPad Adobe Express homepage. Let's scroll down. Let's find the green card. Oh, sorry, the orange card with the funky robot. Give him a tap. And here we go. It's loading it up. And the first thing I want is just a black background. So right at the top of my screen, on the top ribbon, I've got background color. Let's change that to black. Lovely. And now we're going to go to brush. So brush is right here in the top left-hand corner, this brush button. Give it a tap. And let's go to the art supplies and scroll down to the watercolor fill brush. Remember that we need the size to be right up at the max. And here I go, a bit of orange. And this is fun on the iPad because you could just use your finger to paint, which is, one of the things that's cool about using Express on the iPad. There we go, and then a bit of green, like this, bit of green, bit of green. And then maybe a bit of dark blue, maybe. Ooh, bit of dark blue, lovely, lovely. Lovely. Great. And then the next step, we're actually going to add a bit of white as well. Kind of a bit of mistiness, a bit of misty clouds, bit of misty white. And then finally, I'm going to go over it with a bit of black again. So still with the watercolor fill brush, going to go back to the black paint and then just start tapping here and there. Not everywhere, just here and there. And it'll just kind of tone some of those colors down a bit. If you think it's a bit strong in some bits, like I thought that bit there was a bit strong, just kind of paint back over it with your watercolor fill brush. And there we go. That is looking magnificent. I think that looks great. Right, let's go, as I've did a few extra steps there on the iPad. Let's jump back over to the browser, to the computer, and catch up. Hey, we have got... We got a question. Right, now then, we got a question here. Hi, it's Mrs. Taylor here from Hamilton School for the Deaf in South Lanarkshire, Scotland. We don't have plate drawing on our screen. How do we get it? Now then, I am guessing, Mrs. Taylor, and let me know if I'm wrong, that you are on iPads. Is that gonna... Yeah, that is the reason that would happen. Or are you using another browser like Safari or Firefox? So if you're using Safari or Firefox, they don't always work as well with Express. So using something like Chrome or Edge, so Microsoft Edge or Google Chrome would work. If you are on an iPad and you're not seeing it, that is because you need to update your iPad iOS software, which you're not going to do right now in the live lesson. The good news is, Mrs. Taylor, if you can't get the drawing up right now, is that is just the first bit of today's lesson. And as much fun as drawing is, it's only the first bit. So if you can't just solve it by switching over to another browser, if you're on Chromebooks or laptops, then just try Chrome or Edge instead of maybe what you're using. But if you are not able to get the drawing app open, don't leave, because this is just the first bit, and you could just grab a spooky background instead over in Express, and I will show you that, okay? Just for you guys. So anyway, hope that helps. If not, it's probably, if you're on iPads, it's probably that you need to update your software, your iOS software on the iPad, which you probably don't want to do right now. So if you're on iPads, just hang tight maybe a couple of minutes, and then you'll be able to join in with us when we are adding all the other stuff to this, because that works on all browsers and on the iPad with the old iOS. Right, okay. So I'm back on the browser, and I was using white paint with this up at the max, just adding a bit of mist in here, bit of mistiness, and then a bit of black then again to just tone down. Where is it too busy? It's a bit too busy over here. It's a bit too busy at the top. There we go. Just tone it down, tone it down, tone it down. Right, let's get some sparkly stars. Let's get some sparkly stars in the background. So sparkly stars, we're going to use the chalk paint. So let's scroll up in the art supplies. We're still in the art supplies. Scroll up to the top of the art supplies and you'll see chalk. And with the chalk paint, again, I'm going to go to the max, and I'm just going to maybe grab this yellow here and just click once up there. And then maybe a bit of the purple and just click once over there. There we go. And then I'm also going to use the splatter brush. Let's scroll down. Let's find the splatter brush. Size up to the max again. Let's put a bit of purple splats about. A few orange splats as well. There we go. Like those. And maybe just some green splats to finish off. Okay. And then the final thing we're going to do is paint the moon. And then we'll be done with the drawing. And then we'll be moving over to the all-in-one editor. So let me just go to the iPad, get the chalk and the splatter in. Here we go, here we go. So let's go. Splatter is just there above the watercolor fill, so I'll do that first. Splatter, size up to the max. Bit of orange here and there, lovely. Bit of green, tappy tappy. There we go. And maybe a bit of purple as well. Lovely, bit of splatter about the place. And then let's go up to chalk, which is at the top of the art supplies. Chalk. Size up to the max. Bit of yellow, click. Bit of pink, click. Click. There we go. Brilliant. Right, we're ready for the moon. We're ready for the moon. Let's go make a moon. Let's go back to the browser. Here we go. Now then, for the moon, this is super easy. We want the very first brush that you get in Express. So if you click on Basic, here we go. It's the first brush. It's the hard round brush. Let's click on it. And for the moon, we want this white paint. And let's just bring the size of the brush about halfway, I think. Just about halfway. Okay, so I've got the hard round brush in the basic brushes. Okay, basic, hard round, white paint. The size is about halfway. I'm just going to click once up here. Click, like that. And if you're not happy with the location, you can undo and you can try it a few different times. I'm going to bring it down a bit. There we go, just like that. And now to give the moon a bit of haze, a bit of mist coming off the moon, I'm going to go to the brush right next door, which is called the soft round brush, and just click in the middle of the moon again. Keep clicking. I think I need the brush. Oh yeah, my brush is too small. Let's bring the brush up to about halfway again. Let's bring it up a bit bigger then, about 3/4. Here we go. You can see now. And the more I click it, you see, the more mist we get. And maybe I went a bit too far. Something like that, I think, is perfect. Perfecto. Right. Back over to the iPad to finish up the drawing then for today. So we're going to go to Basic. So the basic brush, hard round, white paint. About halfway is fine. Tap once. There we go. There's my moon. And now for the misty haze around the moon, let's go to the next brush over, which is the soft round brush. And then the brush is going to be a bit bigger than it was for the hard round. And we're just going to tap there on the moon. Tap again. Keep tapping till you're happy. There we go. I think that looks absolutely wonderful. Right. Now then, what we're going to do now is jump over to the all-in-one editor and use this as the background to our spooky scene. Now then, if you haven't been able to do any drawing, don't worry, you'll be able to just use one of the many backgrounds that we've got built into Express, okay? So let's just save this right now. I'm going to just click in here and save it as Halloween background. Halloween background. Halloween background. Great. Brilliant. Now then, let's go and start building up a scene using this as our background. So to do that, we need to leave the drawing app. We need to come out of the drawing app back to the Adobe Express homepage. So to do that, just tap on the big colourful A. Well, it's not big. The small colourful A in the top left-hand corner. Oh, am I still on the iPad? I'm still on the iPad. Come on, Jones. Do better. Do better. Come on. Right. Lucky I didn't do much. Okay. That's all I did was click up here and I renamed this as Halloween background. I clicked up here, renamed it as Halloween background. And now we are ready to step out of the drawing app back to the Express homepage. So to do that, we click on the colourful A in the top left-hand corner. Click on that. And here we go. We are back out on the home page. And what we're going to do now is start a new project in the all-in-one editor where we can combine things like text, the painting we just did, video clips, animated GIFs, loads of different things. So to do that, we're going to click on the plus in the blue dot. Okay, in your top left-hand corner, click on the blue dot with a plus and go for the square option. And here it is. Right, our blank canvas. Right, let me just get to that point on the iPad. There are a few steps there, weren't there? Okay, so here I am on the drawing editor. So I'm not going to save it again. You've seen me save it once. So tap there on the top where it says untitled, give it a sensible name. And then to go back to the Express home page, you just need to tap on the colourful A, which is just here. Tap on that. And we are back. Sorry, I'm going to take a sip of my coffee because I'm choking on something. Okay, right. There we go. I'm fueled and ready to go. So here we are back on the home page. So to start our multimedia project, we need to tap on this blue dot. You see it? It's next to me here, up here on the top left, the blue dot. Tap. And then you can see there in the middle of the screen, it says square. Let's give that a tap. Square. Okie dokie. Right. So back I go to the computer. How do we get our painting in? Okay. So to get my painting in, that's all I need to do is go to your stuff. Your stuff. If you don't have a painting, okay, Mrs. Taylor, if you don't have any paintings, what you could do here is go to elements, and backgrounds, and you could search for Halloween. There, okay, and you could pick a kind of spooky Halloween night. Look at that. There's some loads of options here. How many options? 398 Halloween backgrounds. So if you weren't able to paint, go into the elements, into backgrounds, and start searching. But if you were able to paint, excuse me, if you were able to paint, we're going to bring in our painted background by going to your stuff in the top left. And your most recent file will be there. Well, look, it's actually got my iPad drawing and my browser drawing. I think, oh yeah, this is my browser one because I didn't name my iPad one. So let's bring this in, just click on it. And there it is. Now I want that to fill my page. So we got one easy button called Set Background. Give that a click and there we go. Our drawing is now our background for our multimedia project. Right, let's bring that in on the iPad. So here I am. Remember, if you haven't been able to draw, you can go into Elements, into Backgrounds and search there. But if you did draw, then you can go to your stuff at the top. And your most recent files will show up here. Okay. And I think the one I want now is this one. This one. Yeah. Yeah. And then this, we're going to set this as a background. So give it a tap there. Set background on the left-hand side. Tap. Hey, man, I've tapped on you. There we go. Right. Right. Sorted. Let's start adding some spooky elements. All right. So, the first spooky elements I'm going to add are some ghosts, I think. Let's get some ghosts. Let's get some ghosts in. So, let's go to the elements on the left-hand side. Elements. There we go. And then up on the top, we are going to go now to the design assets. And in here, we're going to search for ghost. Ghost. G. This, I always spell this wrong. I always put the H in the wrong place. Is that just me? Or is there anybody else the same? I always think that it's G-O-H, but it's not. It's G-H-O-S-T. I don't know why. I just can never spell it right. Anyway, I did today, so I could have got away with that. G-H-O-S-T. Right. So, what I'm going to do is bring in some ghosts. Now, try and stick to the same style. So if you're going to go for kind of this kind of ghost, which is quite cartoony, then, you know, maybe bring this one in as well. But you're going to need kind of 3 or 4 ghosts. And I'd avoid ones that have got kind of 3 or 4 on the same one. Because when we animate, then they'll all move together. We want them to move separately. So I'm going to maybe use this one, which is kind of more of a photograph, I think, you know. So then I'm going to look for some ghosts which look more kind of like photographs, like these. Here we go. You know what I mean? So try and stick to the same kind of style of ghost, of artwork. And we're going to pop them down on the bottom of our screen. Here. Like a kind of spooky choir. There we go. And just keep adding them in until you've filled all the way across the bottom of your screen. You can repeat them. You can use the same one a few times if you want. Now, sometimes you want them to be kind of behind other ghosts. So, for example, I'd like this ghost to be behind this ghost's arm, ghostly arm that he's sticking out. So to move this one behind, that's all I need to do is, over on the right-hand side, grab that ghost in the layer stack and drag it behind the other one, like that. There we go. And now that I've done that, I don't think I needed to, but yeah, it's fine. Right, and just keep going. Keep going. Just keep adding in. As I said, you could use the same ones, but I think it works well if you've got a kind of similar style. And you can see that I'm kind of making them really big and then popping them down. So I'm hiding most of it. I'm not seeing the bottom at all. I'm just seeing the top there, bringing them down to the bottom of the screen like that. Just kind of arranging them in a way which you think looks cool and spooky. There we go. Any more? Any more? Maybe I've run out of the kind of photo realistic ghosts. So I'll scroll back up, I think, and go back and add some of those. Now, if you want your ghosts to look different to each other, one thing you can do is flip them. So, for example, this one that's kind of pointing in to the middle of the page. Maybe I'd like another one pointing the other way on the other side of the page. So what I can do is bring this one in again. Okay, click on this one again. Here he is. And what I want to do is flip him like in the mirror so that we're seeing a mirror image of it. So let's just make sure that it's selected. And over on the left, we can go to position and flip horizontal. There we go. And now this new ghost, as you can see, is kind of pointing in the other direction. Maybe this new ghost is going to go behind everyone. Brilliant. Right. You know what? I think that is looking fantastic. My ghostly choir is ready. So let's go over to the iPad and let's do the same thing. Let's build up our ghostly choir. So here it is. I'm going to go to Elements on the left-hand side. Up on the top, we're going to Design Assets. And once again, my spelling is getting tested. G-H-O-S-T. There it is. And let's bring in some ghosts. Right, so this time maybe I'll try and use more of a cartoony kind of feel, okay? So let's bring in, who shall I use? I like this style. This is a cool kind of cartoony style. I like that. So we got this one. Now then, are there more like this? I think there are. So they're not, it's not outlined. So really I need to pick ones that aren't outlined. They go well together. Right, any more that aren't outlined? I mean, this guy isn't outlined. He's a happy looking ghost. And then anything else that isn't outlined? And we could use the same trick again and flip, couldn't we? We could flip a ghost. Have you flipped a ghost today? This one is quite cool. I like that one. That's great. There you go. I think I'm fine. I think I'm done. Yeah. That's brilliant. Right. Okay. I think maybe they're a bit too high, so I'm going to bring them all down a touch. I think I'm using a bit too much of my space here. There we go. They've turned out really cool. Yeah, I like those. Right, there we go. So I've got my ghostly choir there, and I got a different one over here on my browser. My different ghostly choir. Right. Now then, what next? Well, let's get a kind of a haunted wooden sign where we can write Happy Halloween on there. So still under design assets, let's just search for something like wooden sign. Or maybe just signpost. Let's try this, wooden sign. Oh yeah, brilliant, perfect, absolutely perfect. So maybe here I'll use this one because it's quite realistic looking. And maybe over on the iPad I'll use one that's a bit more cartoony to go with my cartoony ghosts. There are absolutely tons of options for you there. But I think for me here I'm going to stick with this very first one that pops up. There's my sign. And now let's just almost fill this left... Oop, too big. Almost fill this left-hand kind of gap here with my spooky sign. There we go, like this. And I think, you know, it's on a bit of an angle, so let's rotate it. Use the rotate tool, put it on a bit of an angle. And the actual post itself, I'd like it to be behind my ghosts. So again, we're using the layer stack over here on the right-hand side. And I'm going to bring that down. There we go. So I've got my... Yeah, that looks really good. I've got my wooden sign there behind my ghostly choir. Okie dokie. Right. Shall we see that on the iPad as well? So over on the iPad, we're going to go to Elements and Design Assets, and we're going to search for wooden sign. Wooden sign. Now, I want one that looks, more cartoony. That's a good one. It's got a little tuft of grass in the bottom, but it's fine because we're going to hide that behind the ghosts. So let's bring that in. Now then, let's make this sign really nice and big. That's great. You can change the angle, nice and easy like this. There we go. And then I'm going to bring that sign down, behind everything to there. Cool. Right. Well, let's get our message on the sign. Let's get the message on the sign. So it's time to add some text. How do we add text on Express? Well, over on the left-hand side, it's the three big buttons, the three important buttons that we use all the time in our lessons. Media, text, and elements. We've been using media to find photos. Elements to find design assets, kind of stickers that are already cut out. And then text is where we add text, of course. So let's click on text. And then let's go to add your text at the top. There we go. And then I'm going to type in here, Happy Halloween. Let's just bring it over onto the sign. Happy. And then let's maybe, let's just go Halloween, exclamation mark. Now, let's have a look at the dynamic text layout, because this is going to help us to fill this whole signpost with the words Happy Halloween. So let's click on text layouts and choose dynamic. Now then, it doesn't look like much has happened. It's turned it all into capitals, but other than that, it doesn't look like much has happened. But look what happens when I change the shape of this box by grabbing one of the corner handles and changing the shape of the box to be more square rather than a long rectangle. Once I start to make it more square, boosh, there you go. You see? It's popped them onto two different lines, and once it does that, it's changed the font sizes on each line so that it kind of fills the rectangle. See? It's really good for things like this. It's basically made the word happy really big so that it's as wide as the word Halloween. Right. Now, that's great, but I definitely need to find a spookier font. So let's go into the recommended fonts. And let's see, is there something here kind of handwritten-y, messy looking? I want a really messy, hand-painted look. No, none of those. None of them. Thank you very much, Express. So let's click out and let's go looking for the font that I want. So I'm going to click on the drop down here, and I'm just going to start scrolling. And I want to find something that looks kind of hand-painted and spooky if I can. Ideally, something that's got kind of paint still dripping down, you know, that'd be brilliant. If not, I'll just go for, you know, a spooky font. It doesn't have to have kind of paint dripping, but it would be great if there is. I think I've seen, that's a good one. That's a good spooky font, isn't it? Grenz, Gotish, Bold. I do like that. But I've kind of committed to this kind of drippy paint now. Oh, here we go, look. Lacquer Regular. Drippy paint. Maybe I'll use that other font on the iPad. Starting with a G. Right, there we go. When you choose a new font, maybe you'll need to kind of resize your box. Also, you see the gap between the first and second lines, between Happy and Halloween. We've got this big old gap here. We can close that down. It's called the line spacing. We can change our line spacing by clicking on the three dots over here and just bringing the line spacing down like that. And that sometimes helps you to kind of be able to bring your font size up just a touch more. All right. Okay, the final thing I'm going to do is maybe play around with colours. It's a bit tricky to read, isn't it? So maybe let's try, I don't know, maybe let's try some red paint, or maybe some orange paint, or maybe some kind of purple paint. I think it's going to need an outline as well to help it to stand off the page. So maybe I'll go with the red paint. And then let's add an outline. So to add an outline, we just click on the outline thickness button here and start adding a thick outline. I'm going to go about halfway. And then we can choose the color of the outline by clicking on this box here. And we could try black. Now that definitely helps, doesn't it? White helps a lot as well. What about kind of a Halloween-y orange? Yes. Yes. This kind of gold color goes really well with that red, doesn't it? You can just go through them, try them out. I think that the winner is this kind of gold color with the red. There we go. Now that I've done it, I'm going to bring the size down a touch, actually. Right. Great. Well, I am super happy with that. That's brilliant. So let's go and get the text sorted over on the iPad now. I hope you're having fun as well. That you're busy bringing in all of your elements. And your text. Right, here we go. Back on the iPad. And I'm going to add my text by clicking on T for text. And then add your text. And I'm going to type in here. I can't even see what I'm typing. There we go. Come on, iPad. Be my friend today. Hey, dude. Okay, I'll just type it. Happy Halloween. There it is. Right. Let's bring this over. Now then, we want the dynamic text layout. So text layouts on the left. Dynamic. Nice. Right, and let's just... There we go. Start dragging the box around. Now, what was that font? It started with a G, and it was very cool. Scroll down to the G's. B, C, D, E, F, G. Where was it? Here it is. Grenz Gottish Bold. Oh, that is cool. It is quite a Halloween-y font. It's not quite as clear to read, maybe, but I do like it. Right, colours. Let's try it. Maybe this has been done in white paint. Let's try some white paint. Yeah, that's definitely clearer. And let's add an outline. Maybe the outline is in kind of a dark brown, similar to the brown on the of the side. So you can mix your own colours. You've got this little colour palette. If you want more colours than that, you can go to custom, and then you can mix the colours. So brown, for example, I'm going to go to this kind of orange colour here in the rainbow. You see, I can just go left and right on the rainbow. Let's go to maybe the orange. And then once you're on the orange, you can then come over and pick a darker version. Let's go a bit of a deeper orange. There we go, like that. You can see there then that that is actually changing the colour of the outline as I'm going around. So I'll go for a kind of a dark brown. Yes. That is great. Super happy with that. Brilliant. Right, on we go. Right then, now then, back to the browser. Let's bring in some more elements. Let's bring in, for example, some bats. So let's go to elements, and let's go here, and let's search for bat. Oh, now then. This is cool. I like this bat here. So maybe... Just going to bring in this bat. And I think it's, you got to think about where you're going to put these bats. Because if it's, the bat is black, and then if you put it on the darkest part of your background, it's impossible to see. So kind of, having it in front of the moon is a great, or just above the moon is a great place to put it. Let's duplicate that bat. 3 dots, duplicate. And let's maybe pop it over here. This one could be a bit bigger as well. There we go. We've got a pair of bats. And what else do we have? What else do we have? Wow. You could just type in here in design assets, Halloween. Halloween. There's lots of things you can put in here. You've got some cobwebs. You've got a big pile of bats. I do like this kind of strange orange mist. I like this. So we could pop this maybe down at the bottom in front of our ghost choir. And I think that's a bit too strong. But rather than mess around with the settings, maybe what I'll do is just move it down, so that we just get less of it. Just the top bit of that orange mist. Yes. They definitely now look as if they're not 4 separate ghosts. They look as if they are all in the same place, don't they? Because I've kind of used that mist to kind of bring them together. Okay, what else could we have? Keep searching here. We got bats. We got... now then, what else could we do? There are ideas over on the activity page, of course. We could have a look at that as well. What did it say? Ghosts, pumpkin. Oh, pumpkins. Okay, let's go on then. Let's search for a pumpkin. So let's go. Pumpkin. Nice. Oh, hello. This guy looks great. But I wouldn't mind one that's a bit more photorealistic if I can, to match my ghosts. So this one is a bit more photorealistic. Let's bring that in. And I mean, the pumpkin could be just kind of sitting on top of the sign, couldn't it? like that. Yeah, that works well. That works very well like that. All right. There we go. And what about some cobwebs? What about some cobwebs? Let's go to elements and let's go here and search for cobweb. Now maybe I want a cobweb that just kind of covers my whole screen. That'd be cool. You know, just kind of a big old mess of cobwebs. Like that. No. It's a bit too modern. I need something that looks a bit... Aha! This one. Something that looks really kind of... Ooh! Halloween-y. What did I do there? I think I just scrolled past it. Let's go back down. Where is it? Here it is. And for some reason it says Parlez-vous français. There we go. Right, so this one is perfect. I'm gonna bring that in. Click on it. Now it's hard to see it. It is there, look. So now I'll just bring up the size nice and big and just cover my whole design with it. Now, if that's too much, if it's too much, and I think mine is a bit too much, I think it kind of hides. I'm going to spin it around, but I think it's hiding my text a bit too much. What you can do, I think I want it to be even bigger actually. Let's make it really massive. Yeah. Now, if it's too much, what you can do is put it in the right place, which I haven't done yet. Right, here we go. I like it there. Now, it's definitely too strong. Okay, I can barely read Happy Halloween, and it's kind of ruined my mood a bit. So what you can do with your cobweb, just choose it. And now let's start making it more see-through. So let's reduce the opacity. So we're going to click on opacity, and we are going to bring that down. We're going to bring the opacity down. So bring it down, 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 down. Now, what a lot of people do when they're reducing the opacity is they'll bring it down, they'll reach about 50%, and they'll just kind of go, well, that must be far enough, and leave it there. So here's a trick for you when you're reducing opacity, is take it to 0. Don't start coming down from 100. Just take it all the way to 0. So if you take it to 0, it's totally see-through. It disappears. Okay? And now start from 0. Instead of starting from 100, start from 0, and bring it in. And what you'll notice is that you'll actually stop and you'll be pleased with it at a far lower number than you thought you would be. I'm going to leave mine there at about 17%, look. Okay? Just a hint of those cobwebs going across everything. All right. Okay. So, we are at the end of the first half of this activity where we're just building up this static image. So you could print that out. So let's save this as Halloween design. Halloween design. Halloween design. Right. Now, we're going to keep that version that stays still all the time, just in case you want to print it. But I'd like to make a copy of this so that I can animate it as well, so that I can turn it into a kind of video, okay? So, to do that, it's really easy. In Express, that's all we need to do. In the bottom right-hand corner of your page is click where it says, next to Add Page, click on the 3 dots, Page Actions. And here, you'll see a button that says Duplicate. And there we go. We've now got a copy of our design. We got page 1 and we got page 2. Okay, and they're identical. Well, the first thing I'm going to do on page 2 is delete some things. Okay, I'm going to delete the cobweb. So let's click on the cobweb. Let's click on it in the layer stack here. And then let's just hit the bin here, or you can hit delete on your keyboard, backspace. I'm going to get rid of this bat. And I'm going to get rid of this bat. Don't worry, don't worry. We're going to have some bats. We're going to have some moving bats. And I'm also going to get rid of this pumpkin. All right, everything else, I'm going to leave it as it is. I quite like, actually, maybe I'll get rid of this mist as well. I'm going to click on the mist, get rid of that. Okay, so I'm back to my background, the sign, the text, and my ghost choir. That's it. Okay, now all of that other stuff that I did is still there. Look on page 1. Look, the pumpkin, the bats, the mist, the cobwebs, they're all there on page 1. But here on page 2, I've gone back to things not moving. I've gone back to this simple version. Right, let's bring in now then some moving images. Okay, the simplest way to bring in some moving images is with the stickers, GIFs. If you know what GIFs are, they're basically animated stickers that animate on a loop, which is cool because you don't need to worry about how long it lasts. Right, well, to find those, let's start off, let's bring in some bats. Let's bring some bats back. So I'm going to go to Elements, and up on the top, I'm going to scroll all the way over to Stickers. And I'm going to search in here for bat. Cool, right. Now then, I'm going to always pick one where the bat's always on screen. So I'm not going to use this first one because they're going kind of on and off the screen. And I don't want to kind of have this kind of edge where they're going to get chopped off as they fly away. This one's perfect because it's always on the screen. This one is cool because it's always on the screen. These are cool because they're always on the screen. Okay, so pick one where, you know, the bat is always on the screen. That one is cool as well. Okay, so I think I'm going to go, this one, I definitely want to use this one. This one's really fun because it kind of bounces up and down. This is cool. So I'm going to click on that. Okay, so you can see now that we've got a timeline. So if I click on play, we've got this bat just kind of flying around in the middle of the screen. Now, you can resize and move that frame, okay? And the bat is going to animate inside this box. So, for example, if I want to pop it over my moon here, okay, and you can even angle it if you want. So I could do something like that. So now when I play it, see, it's animating within this box. It stays in this box. So if you want to make it smaller, you can make the box smaller. Okay, make it bigger, make the box bigger. If you want to change the angle, you can change the angle. Okay, well, that's brilliant. So let's go and do that again. So I'm going to click on the X here and let's find another one. Which one should I go for now? I'm going to try and match the style of that first bat, if I can. Which one? Maybe this one. Maybe this one. Flapping busily around the top of the sign. It'll be good there. So bring that in. All right, and let's bring down the size. Okay, let's play both of them together by clicking the big play button down here. Okay, this is cool. This is going well. This is going well. Right, can we find a pumpkin? Let's go and see. Now then, this time, instead of the stickers, I'm going to actually search for a video. So I'm going to go to media this time. Media. And I'm going to search for a video. And I'm going to search here for pumpkin. Pumpkin. Oh, I'll try spelling it correctly, Mr. Jones. Pumpkin. Right. Let's try it again. Pumpkin. All right, 182 results. Brilliant. So I want, you know, yeah, that is cool, but I want to see the whole pumpkin if I can. Closer. That's closer. That might work. Ideally, I just want one pumpkin with some kind of lights flashing. That's quite good. That's quite good. I mean, there's a lot of other stuff going on there, but let's give that a go. Let's click on that. Bring it in. Right, now then when you add a video, it's going to ask you, do you want to add this as another layer on this that you're building up, on this design that you're building up, on your canvas, or do you want to add it as a new scene in your sequence to kind of come after this scene that we're building up? No, I want it to be on my sign there. So let's click add as a layer on the canvas. There it is. Right, now, I don't want all this other stuff. So let's just crop that down like that. Right, and now I'm going to try and remove the background from it. Let's see if Express can get rid of the background. So, here's my video clip, and over on the left, I'm going to click on background Barry. Here he is, give him a click, and he's going to have as good a go as he can at getting rid of the background. Hopefully, I'll just have my pumpkin. You can see it spinning around. You can carry on doing other stuff whilst it's removing the background. But every time I go and do that, it ends up then being finished. Because it doesn't take too long. It's pretty good at removing a background from a video super quick. So if you're filming things in school, you know, you can remove the background. You don't need to use a green screen at all. You can just bring in any video clip you got, click on Barry. There we go. And he'll remove the background from it. So let's pop this video of a pumpkin up on top of my sign this time, instead of just the photo I had earlier. Now, it's in front of this bat, so I'd like the bat to be flapping in front of the pumpkin. So we, of course, need to be sorting out our layer stack, just like that. Right, let's play it then. Let's see how things are looking now. Yeah, cool. Do you see the light flashing in the eyes there? That's working great. Right, now, what about my ghosts? They're looking very still, aren't they? And they're meant to be in a ghostly choir. So let's give them some animation. We can animate things that aren't GIFs and aren't videos. We can animate still graphics and elements on our projects as well. Okay, let's see how. Let's choose our first ghost, this guy. Okay. Now then, with any of your ghosts selected, over on the left-hand side, we are going to click on animation here. And let's just start off with a loop animation. Okay, so we can go to loop. And you can hover over these if you've got a mouse. You can see if you go to wobble, it's going to wobble. Breeze. Wind animation. Ooh, that's good. Breeze is good. You got things like the bobbing animation is good. That's quite good. Or they can jitter and spin around. I don't think you want to be doing cartwheels. They can be yo-yoing up and down. Right, so have a think about which one you're going to use. I think I'm going to go with a bob. But it's a bit too strong, isn't it? So I'm going to click on bob. And then we can change the settings by clicking on Bob again. We can bring down the speed a little bit and bring down the intensity to kind of 2 or something. There we go. You see, and now this guy here is just bobbing along. Yeah, nice and gently like that. Right, well, what about the next ghost in line? Now, if you can't click on it, so I can't click on this guy because he's kind of hidden behind this guy's box. So let's use the layer stack to choose the next one. Here we go. Here he is. Okay, give him a click. And you could use the same animation effect, but it's quite fun to kind of use different ones, I think, isn't it? So maybe I'm going to use that. Oh, right. He's going to wobble back and forth. So let's give that a click and let's see what the settings do. Click on wobble. Now then, you can change the distance that your ghost wobbles. There we go. You change the squish factor. Ah! This is brilliant. Right, I think I need the distance right down. The squish can come up now. There we go. Look at that. That is amazing. And maybe this can all happen a bit. There we go. Longer. Distance come up. Just look. Could you believe that ghost is not a video clip? That's actually just a still photo. I think that is amazing. Right, next ghost. This guy in the middle. Can I click on him? No. So he's the one with the big mouth. Right, here he is. This one. What's he going to do? Let's try something else. So I've used wobble. I've used bob. Let's try a bit of breeze or a bit of wind. Yeah, let's try a bit of breeze. Can't really see what that does at the moment. Let's see what the settings do. If you're not sure what one of these does, open up the settings and just go crazy with it. Let's turn the speed right up. Okay. Okay, he's just gone crazy. Right, maybe I'll have him going up like this. Oh, that's really good. It's too much, but it's really good. Let's do that. And let's bring the speed down, flexibility down a bit. Okay, speed up a bit, flexibility up a bit. This is very good. Okay, I think I need the speed up a bit more. Yeah. All right. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Let's see the three ghosts animating together. Let's bring this back to the beginning. Let's click on the play here. And let's see these three ghosts animating. You know which one's making me laugh? This guy in the back. Look at him. Look at him. Right. Okay, we're getting there. Let's go. Right, this final one. This one in the front looks pretty serious, doesn't he? So we've done wobble, breeze, and bob. Right, what does wind do? Is that what did I do on the last one? Well, we find out now. Right, let's click on wind. Bring the speed up. Oh, here he goes. Oh, he goes all the way around. Look, he gets blown all the way around the screen. That's a mad one. Flexibility right up. Why not? Why not? Absolutely, why not? What if he goes down? Does he then pop up at the top of the screen? Is that what happens? Yeah, these presets are so much fun. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. That's cool. And then my final ghost, let's click on him. So again, I might have to use the layer stack because he's right in the back of my ghost choir. And I'm going to use one of the ones I have to say I thought that wobble was brilliant. I did think wobble was brilliant, so I'm going to go with wobble again. And then open up the settings, and then let's just change the duration, the squish factor. That turns a still image into a video. It's really incredible. Let's bring the distance down a bit. Turn the squish factor right up. And then what happens if we change the pin area? Let's try this. That's cool. Right, let's try that all together. That is so brilliant. I love that. Right. Okay. Guys, we got just over 10 minutes left. So, it's time for our big surprise. It's time for our big surprise. We're going to have a big spider landing in the middle of the screen, giving us a shock. A bit of a jump scare. Okay? So, let's go to media, into videos, and let's search here for spider. And we want, here we go, like one of these from the top, kind of, and I want it to land and kind of scurry away. You know what I mean? I want it to land and scurry away. Let's go spider cartoon, maybe. Spider cartoon. No. Okay, let's just do that again, spider. Now then, I know there are some in the stickers as well, in the animated GIFs. So maybe that'll be better. Yeah, tell you what, let's go and look in the GIFs. Let's go into elements. I know I've seen some in there. So let's go to elements on the left, and then stickers at the top, and let's search in here for spider. Oops, spider. Right, now we want one where it lands, scurries away. That second one's pretty good. You see it? Lands, scurries away. Is there another one here? Ah, that's a pretty good one, isn't it? That's a pretty good one as well, because the legs are going. Yeah, I'm going to go with this one. This one here. Right. Now then, let's make that spider pretty big in the middle of your page. Like this. Okay. Pretty big in the middle of your page. All right. Now then. Something like that. Now. We want to shock everyone with it. Okay. Something like this. So let's just play that from the beginning. All right. Okay. So we don't want it there because it's right there at the beginning. So what we're going to do now with that spider is we're going to just peel that back from the beginning. You see, we got the spider selected. So down in the timeline, we're just going to peel this spider clip back. So at the moment, our clip is 5 seconds long. That's fine. So maybe we want kind of halfway. Okay, so let's just play it now. So we'll have our nice scene and then bam, big spider in the middle. Okay, but let's animate that in. Let's get the spider actually kind of arrive. Look as if it's dropped down onto the top of the screen. So with the spider selected, let's go to the in animation on the left hand side. So we click on animation, we're going to go to in. Now, one of these is called shrink. There we go. So for it to shrink, it needs to be bigger than it actually is. There we go. See? So it can it looks like it's dropping onto the page. That'll work really well. So we don't want to go for grow. We don't want to go for pop. This shrink is good. So let's click on it. But let's look at the settings. Let's see what we can do. Does it need to happen faster? Do we need less of a duration on the shrink? Bam! Like that. Yeah. See? Faster. Boom. I think so. The longer that is, the kind of gentler it is. I think it needs to be, maybe something like that. 0.35 seconds, 0.5 seconds, something like that, yeah. Bam. Right, and then when it's on the page, what do we want it to be doing? Okay, because now it's just on the page and it's just doing that. So maybe we want it to be kind of, kind of going around the screen a bit. So let's go to the loop animations. Now, we've been using these on our ghosts. So what could we go for? Well, we could go for something like spin. And it'll be, the legs will be moving whilst it's doing that. Or we could go for wiggle. We could try bob. Yeah, we could try those. Okay, let's try bob. Okay, I'm going to click play. Let's see this happen. So we got 2 seconds in a thing. And then bam. Oh, that's good. Look at it. Look at it bobbing around. Yeah. Or does it need to be spinning? Let's try spin instead. 2 seconds in a thing. Bam. Scary spider. Spinning. Yeah, spinning is good. And then how is it going to leave? Let's go to the out animation. Do we just want it to kind of run off? So is that just a case of going for a drift or a slide? Or is it going to jump back? Are we going to grow back? Boom, back up to us. Maybe. It could pop back up to us. That'd be quite cool. Intensity, strong. Bam. Okay, let's try it. Let's try playing this again. 1, 2, spiders on the screen. Ah, and then boosh off. That's cool. That worked really well. Right, now we have got 7 minutes left, guys. So let's just spend that time on some sound. Okay, let's spend that time on some sound. Well, first of all, let's get some background music. Okay, so to add some background music, we just need to bring this all the way back like this. Okay, bring your slider all the way back to the start. And what we're going to do is I'm going to go to media on the left hand side. Up at the top, I'm going to go to audio. Okay. And now we want some music, some scary music. Let's try something like spooky. Okay, spooky presents. Let's try this. That's good. Yeah. I don't think I want prehistoric night whales. Ooh, it is quite scary. Spooky haunted house. What's this? Oh, that's very good. What's this? That's good as well. Right, I'm going to grab one of these. Right, click on that. Okay, let's play it. Adding music will add a lot of drama to your video clips all the time. Ah! Okay, great. Now then, when that spider arrives, let's get a voiceover. Okay, let's have a ghostly voiceover there as that spider arrives. Okay, boo. Maybe we say boo. Happy Halloween. Something like that. Okay, right. So let's. I want my voiceover to be here where the spider arrives. So I'm just going to put my playhead kind of there. And now we're going to go to media on the left-hand side, audio up at the top. It's the same place we went searching for music, but this time we're going to click on the record voiceover button. And here we go. So I'm going to say, boo, happy Halloween. Right, here we go. Start recording, counts me down. Boo, happy Halloween. Finish recording. Right. So that was too long, but there's no problem. I can sort all of that out. Now, it's enhancing the speech. So it's getting rid of any noise. Everyone else in your classroom making a noise, it'll get rid of all of that. No problem at all. Now then, let's first of all get that timed right. Because you can see here, look, if you look at it, if you look at my voiceover, there's the boo. You can see it there, that waveform there. So the spider arriving actually is this blue dot. So I think we need to move that just over so that the boo is in line with that blue dot. Let's try it out. Boo! Happy Halloween! Very good. Now, the music's too loud now, isn't it? Let's click on the music. Let's bring that volume down because my voiceover needs to be the strongest thing there. Let's try it again. Boo! Happy Halloween! That sounds great. Right. Now, what happens at the end? My screen's gone white. Basically, I just need to extend my scene by clicking on this kind of edge of it here and drag it to the right so that it lasts as long as my voice. And then this extra white scene that it added us, we can just click 3 dots and delete that. Okay, let's watch it again. Boo! Happy Halloween! Good, the music stopped, but I think we can just extend that out. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Try it again. Boo! Happy Halloween! Great. Brilliant. Well, what else could you do with this? I mean, I'm out of time, but you could add loads and loads of things to this. You could film yourself. You could record yourself. You could put yourself in the ghost choir if you wanted to. You can go to the media button and go to videos and record yourself straight in. Look, if you click on it, there's your camera. Film it. Put yourself straight in there as part of your ghostly choir. If you're using it on the browser, if you're using Express on the browser, you can animate characters straight here. If you're on the iPad, you need to step back out to the home page to animate them and then copy them into this project. Okay, how do we then share this amazing work that you've done? Well, you can download your video project as an MP4 file if you want to. That'll save it to your downloads folder or your camera roll if you're on an iPad. But what we find way easier here in the Adobe Education team is to share as a view-only link. So click on share and then choose view-only link. Okay. You can choose to have your name on it or not. You can switch it on or off. You can change the name there. And then you create the link. What this is going to do is it's going to publish a link, one link, and that link is going to have your still graphic design that we did in the first activity today. And then on the next page, when you click next, it's actually going to play with audio your really cool animated video as well, with all of those skills that we've developed today. Think of all those skills we've used today. Loads of really fun skills that you can use in all of your projects going forward now using Express. Right, okay. Well, we're nearly at time. So it's time for me to say thanks very much. Stay safe if you're doing anything for Halloween. If you're going out trick-or-treating, make sure that you are visible and that you've got company. Don't be all dressed up in just dark clothing if you're going to be walking near the roads. Make sure that you're totally visible and have fun, but please stay safe. And we are having a break next week because it is half term for me here in Wales and for Dom in England. So we will be back in the week after. And the first lesson back is going to be a special Guy Fawkes live lesson, where of course we'll be talking about fireworks, but also we'll be learning about the history of Guy Fawkes and the origin of the whole thing. That then moves us on into Remembrance Day. We've got live lessons for that. So teachers, make sure that you pop along to adobe.ly/live lessons to see everything that we've got lined up between now and Christmas. Right. Thanks so much for joining. Thank you for your hellos and your shout outs as well. It's always nice to get some comments to know which schools are joining us. If you're sharing anything on the social media, teachers, about your classes, cool projects that they've done today, then please tag us in. Our social handles are, let me just get them up for you. Here we go, @DomTrainer, @Meredith or Meredith Jones. And then our hashtag is Adobe Edu Creative. And we'd love for you to use those handles because that means that we see the amazing work that you'll be doing in schools as well. Right, that's enough for today. Thanks for coming along, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.